I dismantle stuff, I don't bulldoze it. I think that's a crime.
We're in Gualala, California at St. Orres. This place was an inn originally, right, Eric?
No, it had cabins and cottages for loggers and fishermen, and it's very seasonal.
Seasonal
home. It was like a boarding house. Old seaside hotel with just a big white box. Had a grocery store down where the dining room is. Gas pumps in front from the old highway that ran directly in front of the building.
Probably the only gas between here and...
Well, I'm not quite sure of that, but this was like in the early 30s.
And it's predominantly redwood, correct?
Yes, and some fir and pine and madrone and oak, but predominantly redwood.
It wasn't all new wood. You used a lot of wood that was here already, right?
Well, all the paneling inside of the hotel, we removed every bit of it and basically took the building down to its framing structure and then reframed it all and then used the redwood for trim.
Well, what was the place called?
Seaside.
The Seaside Inn or just Seaside?
That's the Seaside Hotel. Basically.
The Seaside Hotel.
Yeah.
And that was an original structure of it, of redwood and?
Yes, it's all redwood.
All redwood. And that's to be reused when you take it apart?
Yeah, I'll salvage what I can. I dismantle stuff, I don't bulldoze it. I think that's a crime.
Yes. And right, and everything up here is much of this wood is that way. Now, you said you were going to build something down here. This is a visitor center or the?
Well, yeah, it's going to be a place to hang out and have books and gifts and teas and things, a place just to relax. And I want to build it so the premise of it is that it would last over 600 years. For the length of any time it took to replace the material you used. Now, I've been to Japan where there's temples that are over 1,000 years old. So that's not a reach. It has to be done properly. But
you're talking about the investment in the wood, the natural investment of time in the wood.
Well, to grow a tree,
right? Exactly.
To replace the tree you use, you can grow a hell of a tree in 600 years.
Yes, yeah. The wood that you used here, because you also milled this wood, correct?
I milled quite a bit of it, yes.
Was mostly redwood?
Redwood and fir. See, that's a fir right there. That big tree right there, that's a Douglas fir.
Right, going up, and we can't. There we are. Yeah, okay.
Seems to me that a lot of the houses they're building now is a 30-year house. It's basically the length of the mortgage.
It's not even made of wood. It's made of particle board.
Junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but here in Northern California, there's a lot of this. Some of it was plowed under, but a lot of it was saved by guys like you.
Yeah.
There's this whole feeling of you're a Russian architect, like from Russia, because you do all these domes. But this isn't the only style of carpentry you do, and you've done all kinds, right?
Correct.
Tell us about that one near here that you were describing before.
Oh, I built a house that almost looks like a Thai temple. And but my version of it, just like this is my version of Russian. So, and it's all heavy timber.
But it looks light.
It's got sloped roofs and it's in different sections. And so it's not one building, not one big box. It's a bunch of different buildings attached.
Now, is that could that be described as your building style, actually? Is that the way you work, or box upon box?
No, it's hard to explain.
Okay.
But I have dyslexia,
Yes.
which means I can't spell.
Yeah.
On could be no.
Okay. Big difference.
Yeah. And I see things in shapes.
Ah.
So I have a gift. In other words, I can't spell, but I see things in shapes. I can take any shape and turn it inside out, upside down, whatever,
You don't need a computer.
and I know what it looks like. So when I walk on a piece of bare land and somebody wants me to do them a house or whatever, pictures just start popping in. And as long as I can write them down or sketch them, I'm good.
So you work from a sketch.
Yeah.
And your dad was an architect.
Yes.
What did you learn about that as a child of an architect that made you not want to be an architect?
I couldn't sit in a classroom.
Huh.
I didn't fit.
And the dyslexia was part of that. I mean,
Correct.
everybody's on another page.
And they didn't really understand how to deal with anybody like that when I was going to school.
Right. I mean, we're looking at second growth, right? I mean,
Right. Now, you see that stump right there?
Let me go down and, yeah, right there.
That's the original redwood.
Yeah.
Now, that was been probably 5 or 6 foot in diameter, maybe even bigger.
And it's now surrounded by...
And now all these other second growth come around on a circle from the old root. So this is called a fairy circle.
You were here in the mid-70s, right?
1972 I moved here.
2. Wow.
27 years old.
So you did all that building in Marin up to the point of 27?
Yeah.
How did you make that? Did you make the copper?
Yeah, I have a small copper shop. So
And-
I have all the brakes and slitters and stumps here and whatever it takes to use copper.
Those are forms and tools to mold it into shape.
Correct.
And on this, how much copper is on the building we're seeing here, the Black Chanterelle?
Well, it comes in sheets, 3
Ah,
by
okay.
10.
Oh, and you can just cut it down.
And you cut it and you make patterns and then you go from there.
And so every structure here has copper in it as part of it.
It's the only thing that lasts here on the coast.
There's like shapes within the copper on the dome. So were those done piece by piece and laid on, or how did that happen?
Yeah, those are interlocking shingles.
So so those are shingles actually, and then fused together by
Hems.
by what?
Hems.
What is that?
Hem is when you turn
Oh,
something.
a hem, like if you were making a dress.
Correct.
Okay.
Except that they're rigid and they interlock.
And it's a carpentry hem. Heck, those are shingles too. Are those copper shingles?
No, that is a product that is made from plastic bottles,
Plastic bottles.
concrete, and tires.
Wow, that's a roofing material.
Correct.
What's it called? Do you know?
Trex.
Trex?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of Trex, huh? So it comes in lots of different shapes.
Correct.
Huh. And so that's the one that was most conducive to because that dome right there, that's in good light. Now, what is this structure right here?
Storage building.
Okay. May all the storage buildings look like this. When did you make this?
When I did the Black Chanterelle. here.
Oh, okay. So this is about what, 4? How old is this now?
10 years old, maybe?
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea. Time doesn't
time
mean
doesn't-
too much to me anymore.
I see.
Just don't. I'm not date oriented.
You're isolated up here, though. I mean, this is about an hour either direction from a major road into a place where you get like a Home Depot or something like that,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So, and you've been dealing 30-something years with that kind of
40-something.
40-something years, yeah, with that remoteness. The make-do, there's just a certain kind of make-do that probably happens up here with everybody, correct?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, you just, got to deal with what it is. That's all.
What we like about the meals here is that Rosemary's is an architectural chef, right? Tell us what that means.
Well, she does, it's not only how you prepare the food. All the food here, I can brag about it a little bit. I don't have anything to do with it. It's all done from scratch, every bit of it. But that means you also, when you assemble the plate, that it looks as good as it tastes. And I call that food architecture. And so she really understands that and pulls it off.
I've had lobster here that was high rise, and I've had scallops here that was high rise.
We're on in stacking salads.
Stacking, yeah, right, right, yeah. So, okay, well, it's good that there's coherence all the way through, beginning to end at St. Orres. Thanks a whole lot, Eric.
Yep.